Good morning, Starfield. I have been asked by a subscriber to my YouTube channel to do a build tutorial on the Specter because he was having a couple of issues with some snaps points and his engines, I believe, and his reactor. And so I'm going to take apart the ship here on video and show you the way I put it together. By the way, just to put the right shout out to Matilja for his mod that made these parts possible. And we're going to get right into this. First thing, let's just take off the old cockpit there. As you can see, I have a place stores yourself right here. Probably not necessary, but I like to make sure there with the cockpit and everything. Now, this is interesting in that the reactors inside. In fact, we're going to go inside the ship and you will see where I put the reactor. But placing it is actually very kind of fiddly, and I did it right from here. And that is your hatch bay. Okay, I'm going to put that right over there. Let's take off some weapons here. Missile systems here. Let's move the fuel, the grav drive fuel, tanks. And then we have our Gatling guns. And on this side as well. And the engines. And these are the engines. Now the Scepter that I have set up here is a C-class Scepter, and it's got its C-class engines, which are quite powerful, but they're, you only get to set these two on there. They're max power of 12 for the one set. And I have tried to place these engines on other ships. They don't fit. They are made specifically for this body on this. And we have here is your grav drives. As you can see, they go right in there. Now I put a little extra in the Scepter for everybody, because I wanted more shields, so I added Matilja's shield boosters on this kind of plane, and they will fit right in here, right with the grav drives, as you see there. Kind of nifty little use of them there. I don't know if I'm the first person to think of that or not, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the wheels on because they get kind of fiddly. Now, the thing is with the reactor inside there is, once you've already got it in there, it doesn't really want to come back out. This connection right here, I believe, is where the reactor went in there. We'll go inside and it'll show us a little bit better. But the reason why you have trouble with snap points on the reactor, you can probably put it in other places. I like having it inside the ship. There it is. There's the reactor. And we will move that. Let's bring it back. Now the reactor. Now let me show you something here. In there is a mod called Builder Configurator. This is a very essential mod for shipbuilding, in my opinion. What it does is it puts a set of choices that you can make in the settings menu, the game settings menu. Like where you would normally go to set your survival, settings, and your different things, like how bad your combat is, normal, hard, insane, whatever. And that has a series of options for your shipbuilding, and including tolerances. Now, for some of these ship builds, you want to have a better tolerance than default, or you won't get your snaps. See, that went right in there and it snapped. So it's in there. the old reactor. Now, same thing with the engines. If you're having trouble with your engines, I think I'll show you after I get out of this screen. If you set your tolerances to be a little bit looser on your snaps, you'll have less troubles when you're doing your ship builds with getting things to snap. That's the number one advice I can give you on these. Now, you saw me take the ship apart, and I'm going to show you that ship configurator, which will probably solve all your problems. Voila, it's all back together. Okay, now I want to bring up another point. I am doing this from my test facilities here on Leviathan 4, where I use a Darkstar Omen shipbuilding pad. I love this thing because you can turn Darkstar off, which I have it off when I'm building other ships, and you have all these different things that you can turn on or off. If you don't want to even be bothered with them, if you've got so many things in your shipbuilding screen that you want to filter it, Darkstar has made it where you can filter different things off out of there, so that's pretty cool. Now, the shipbuilding configurator, let's take a look. I go to Settings, Gameplay Options. As you can see, you've got your different settings for the game. And notice I always have my combat on extreme. That's because Digger is such a high level that it's no contest if I don't have it. I try to get my competition up as high as I can just to make the game a bit of a challenge. Your shipbuilder configurator starts right down here from the mod. See here, your module overlap checks. So I always leave those enabled. You could disable them entirely, but then that gets kind of crazy. Shipbuilder module overlap tolerance. This is the setting right here that you're going to want to. So I've got mine set on medium. Now the default uses the default overlap setting of -0.25. I'm going with medium, which gives me a -5.25, which gives me a pretty good tolerance. You can actually have parts on top of each using the same snap point sometimes, which is kind of convenient for certain things when you're trying to build a certain type of ship, but you need to be able to have things work on top of each other for the way it looks. So it just gives you more choices. And this same shipbuilder configurator also allows for your maximum ship size. It'll allow you to make a ship up to, I have mine set at 160 meters by 160 by 80. The default is only 80, 80, 80 in the vanilla. You can go all the way up to planetoid, 1600 meters. I would never even consider going that high, but hey, whenever they come out with M class, that might be a thing. I don't know yet. You can have your maximum owned ships. I've got mine set at flotilla, which is up to 30 ships. You can go from default of 10 ships all the way up to, well, crazy, 150 ships. That's too many ships. But and you can enable or disable Class M modules, which I keep them disabled because at this point they can just cause crashes and problems in game. So there's a lot of different things that this shipbuilder configurator allows for you. And there's a lot of good mods out there that allows you to add a lot of fun things to the options. And I could go on for an hour, but I'll keep this short for you. And that, I believe, is the shipbuilding tutorial for the Specter. Let's return to game. And it's a pretty ship. It's a nice ship. Someone has mentioned that it's, for atmosphere, hurt their immersion. Well, it doesn't really hurt my immersion. It's still fun, and it's just a game, people. Don't make it too realistic. It's no fun if it's too realistic. Now, when you do, I want to just let everybody know, if you ever do go through and parse all the lines of my ship blueprints, very often you will find the darkstar.esm showing, and it is not required. If I make a ship that requires a Darkstar part to be able to be imported, I will certainly put it into requirements, like I did with one of my ship mods. Okay, you will always see it there. But if you see a Dark Star ESM in any of my other ship mods, ship import mods, don't let it bother you, because when I build my ships on this pad, the Omen, it's a Dark Star pad. For some reason, it includes that into the file, but it does not have any effect whatsoever on the ship build or on the import of the ship. It's been tested over and over and over again, and even though it says it in the file, it doesn't have any effect. It's not a required mod for that ship import unless I have specifically placed it in requirements on the required page of the mod. I hope that explains it to everybody. I've had some people yelling at me over that, and some doing it publicly, trying to shame me, and I don't appreciate that when it actually works. What's Todd say? It just works. Y'all have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this little ship build on the Scepter. We're going to walk, before I forget, let's go inside and I'll show you what it looks like with the reactor inside the ship. The fun thing about this ship is they don't have a ramp. They have a hatch. And here we are. Now the interior of the Scepter includes a bed, all your workstations, vanilla workstations. I do want to put a shout out to Mattel. Mattel, if you're out there listening, it would be great if you take this ship and miniaturize it like you've done with your, as far as making the interior more, for small ship captain living. It'd be wonderful. Here is the reactor. This is a C-class reactor, and you can have it's like a disco ball. You can have a little dance party here, I think. And then, of course, the cockpit, which I absolutely love the view out of this. When you're doing ship combat, you don't have any obstructions. The canopy, as you can see, it makes ship-to-ship combat awesome. Y'all have a great day and enjoy your time in the Starfield, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you could, and we will see you next time.